Today, we have a huge update on the Ilya Samsonov injury he suffered in his last game, as well as this top OHL defenseman is shocking everybody and sneaking into some top 5 draft lists for this upcoming NHL draft. And I'll break it all down for you coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we get into it, just want to say, if you guys enjoy hockey, enjoy the NHL, just like all of us here on the channel, make sure to go down below, hit that subscribe button for your daily dose of hockey content. But with that said, let's get right into the first topic of the video today, which is top-ranked prospect shocking everyone. And that top-ranked prospect we're talking about today is Zayne Parekh. And if we take a look at this, is a Saginaw Spirit right-handed shot defenseman. Zayne Parekh has had a season for the record books as a draft-eligible player. He's broke many franchise records, and not only is he asserting himself as a top defenseman eligible for the 2024 NHL draft, he is asserting himself as one of the best defensive prospects in recent years. And as we go take a look here, says Zayne Parekh may just be the future #1 offensive defenseman at the NHL level, and here's why. He said all of Parekh's offensive tools are elite. His skating, hands, creativity, deceptiveness, his shot, and manipulation are all at an advanced level. What makes him unique as a defenseman is the wide array of offensive tools that he can use from the back end. And they also go on to say here, he never attacks in a straight line, and he never attacks the same way twice. Parekh can be the driver, he can be the support, or he can be the trigger man in the offensive zone. He can do it all. When Parekh has the puck on his stick, there are very few players that can stop him. His puck control and evasiveness make him difficult to track and even more difficult to knock off the puck. They also go to say here, this is his stats so far this season, with 94 points as a defenseman. That's right, 32 goals as a defenseman here in the OHL with the Saginaw Spirit this year. I mean, this guy's proving himself to be one of the top-ranked defensemen going into this NHL draft, and the fact that he's a right-handed shot defenseman will make him even more valuable. 32 goals, 62 assists for 94 points, 222 shots on goal, so he's not afraid to pull the trigger from the blue line. Obviously averaging about 1.5 a game here, and as you can look, just the year-to-year improvement on this guy has been phenomenal. In 50 games last season, he only had 37 points, still with 21 goals, and I think just the year-to-year improvement here, seeing him jump 60, almost 60 plus points in improvement from year to year here is phenomenal for this guy. And if we take a look at the OHL leaders here, he ranks tied for number 8 in points with 94, tied with Leafs top prospect Easton Cowan. And if you notice something from this list, that all the guys on here above him are forwards. So he right now is leading defenseman in points, the defensive leader in the OHL right now, and it's just proven that this guy could be, the next best player here in the NHL coming up for, this draft, and I think he could be a great offensive player. A lot of people have compared him to Erik Karlsson, Quinn Hughes, just to name a few names here. It just proves that this guy has, has that drive in him, has that offensive ability to be a top player here in the NHL once he makes his way over. And I think it's just great to see another offensive defenseman kind of break out here in the juniors. And I really hope that he can carry his game over to the NHL the way he's playing right now. As a right-hand shot defenseman, we know how valuable they are right now. A lot of teams are looking for guys like this, and I'm sure he's going to be a very sought-after pick here come the NHL draft, because he's going to be the future of the NHL. He's going to be able to quarterback power plays. He's going to be able to drive the play for his team from the back end. And a lot of people are suspecting him to be a top defenseman as his ceiling. They're expecting him to be a top offensive defenseman in the NHL in the years to come. And this is just great to see from Parekh that he's had such a great improvement this year in the juniors, and I really hope that we get to see him get drafted very high here, because I think he deserves it. We don't really see many offensive defensemen like him pop up every now and then. Let's say like once every 5 years, once every decade do we see an offensive defenseman with his ability pop up here to be drafted. So I know there's going to be a lot of teams on his case here come the NHL draft to try to go after this guy. And like I said, when you're looking at Zayne Parekh, he's a guy who's going to drive to play. His skating ability is phenomenal. His shot is amazing from the blue line. Whether it's just shooting, trying to pick a corner, or looking for a teammate's stick, this is where he really excels. He really excels at shooting a puck from the blue line, as we've seen with his stats. 222 shots on goal. He's not afraid to shoot it, but he also has great hands, great passing. His ability to create zone exits are great. And as we've seen here in this article, they say he doesn't do the same thing twice. If he beats someone one way, he's going to go the other way. He's going to make another move to try to get out of his zone, lead the rush into the offensive zone. So I think this guy, is going to be a great player here in the NHL once he gets drafted, and I'm really excited to see where he goes this coming draft. And if we take a look at Craig Button's mock draft, this was on trade deadline day. Obviously, Macklin Celebrini is the number one pick here, consensus number one at this point. But a lot of people here are, suspecting him to go number two, go top three here. There's two defensemen on the board right there that they could interchange, but the way Zayne Parekh is playing right now, I think the Ottawa Senators would love to have this guy if they do get the number two pick for this upcoming draft, because we know what they're like. They had Erik Karlsson in the past when he was such a great offensive defenseman for them. Now, being a great solid defenseman throughout his career in the NHL, really developed his defensive side of the game, but has, great offensive ability. And I think this is what we're getting with Zayne Parekh. I think this is the best, comparison that you can get, because coming out of the juniors, Erik Karlsson, coming out of the juniors, Parekh obviously has great offensive ability and probably could improve his defensive side of his game just a little bit. But when you have such offensive upside from a defenseman here, it's going to be hard to pass over for anybody who is drafting here in the top 5 this year. And if I had to make a prediction right now, I think we will see him at the 2, maybe 3 slot. It all depends here what happens coming draft day, and the interviews and stuff that goes on before. But I really do suspect him to see him as a top 5 pick. So keep your eyes open for Zayne Parekh, because I think he's going to be the next best offensive defenseman here in the NHL. But we're going to get into our second topic of the video today, which is huge Ilya Samsonov injury update. And yes, if you were tuned into last night's game between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Edmonton Oilers, Ilya Samsonov did go down with injury, but we did get a update from Sheldon Keefe today. And if we take a look here, they say the injury took Samsonov out of the game on Saturday between the Maple Leafs and Oilers. It's said not to be serious. The netminder went down in the third after stretching to make a save and laid there for minutes. He eventually left the game and was replaced by Martin Jones, who finished things out for Toronto and helped the Leafs earn the 6-3 win. But we also did see an update from Sheldon Keefe after the game. He said, "Looks like he's going to be fine. He got injured. It's not anything near what it appeared or what I thought it might have been. I'm not going to get into many details, but it looks like he'll be fine and won't miss any time," which is great to hear if you are a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, because Ilya Samsonov has been playing phenomenal since he came up off his stint with the AHL when he got sent down to kind of clear his head. And like they say here, he's been 14-4 with a .910 save percentage with 2.5 goals against since since coming back up from the AHL. So you really want to have this guy in for your late playoff push into the end of the season and really into the playoffs. Maybe he will secure the number 1 goaltending slot going into the playoffs. They also have Joseph Woll there, who could make a case to be the playoff starter as well. But it will be really interesting to see now that Ilya Samsonov is clear from injury, and maybe he may get a rest here, to take things slow, because maybe they do want to save him for the playoffs. They don't want to put him back out there and re-aggravate anything that did happen. Obviously, we don't have any details on what the injury was, but it is great news for Toronto Maple Leafs fans that one of their top goalies here is not injured going down the stretch and is really big for this club. And just to show how big he is for this club, this is the month of March. His stats for the month of March: he has in 7 starts here with a .915 save percentage, with 2.6 goals against, with a 5-1-1 record. It just shows how phenomenal this guy has been since coming back up from the AHL earlier this season. With a 9-15 in the month of March, he's really making a case for himself to be the playoff starter here for Toronto. And I love this for Sammy. I was never doubted him. I knew once he got down the AHL and cleared his head that he would come up and be the phenomenal goaltender that we all know he is. And he's proving this right now with, such high save percentage, with a great record as well, 14-4 since that time. It's just proven that, once he gets locked in, once he gets in the zone, there's not many teams that can beat this guy. And I think this is the goaltender that we may see arise as the playoff starter for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But like I said, great news here for Leafs fans. No more injuries to deal with here. I mean, unfortunately, the Toronto Maple Leafs have been riddled with a lot of injuries this season. Obviously, Marner's still out and stuff like this. And I really hope that we can get to see a full, healthy Toronto Maple Leafs team going into this playoffs, because I really do think they're going to make a strong case to be Stanley Cup contenders come playoff time. But I want to hear from you guys down below. What are your thoughts on the top offensive defenseman prospect in Zayne Parekh? And what are your thoughts on Ilya Samsonov? Do you think he's the playoff starter? Let me know down below in the comment section. We're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here on the channel, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to the Adventures of Jimmy. He says, I didn't mind Matt Murray with the Leafs. Sure, he was prone to injury, but his fundamentals are very sound, and he does have that championship pedigree. Having 4 goalies can't hurt. And shout out to you, Jimmy. Really appreciate your comment there on the video the other day. And like we were saying, having a 4 goalie rotation going into the playoffs can't hurt, because maybe someone goes down, then you have 3 more guys who are just going to be itching to get in between the crease for this team come playoff time. And obviously, Matt Murray has been out for quite some time. I do think if we do see him come back, we may see a conditioned stint maybe in the AHL before he comes back. It all depends on when the timetable of his return is. But you never know. He could come back, go right in and just be the Matt Murray that everybody knows and loves. But it's going to be a tough job to get with Joseph Wall, Martin Jones, and Ilya Samsonov there. But like I said, let me know down below in the comment section, who do you think is going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs day 1 starter for the playoffs? Let me know down below. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road for 3,500 subscribers here on the channel. So if you enjoy hockey just like all of us here, and you're looking for a daily dose of hockey content, you found the right spot. Go down below, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to check out a video I did yesterday on the Vancouver Canucks top prospect, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC. Keep your stick on the ice.